Hi, GoGi. Are you here?
I'm here. I was
Welcome
talking. Nobody heard me. Welcome to the J.A.M. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
We can.
All right. Okay, everybody. Welcome after dinner J.A.M. So glad you can make it in. Come on in, guys. Come on in, guys. Welcome to the J.A.M. I don't know about you, but this was a rough week for me. First of all, that song, it was more romantic, I say, than I remember it. All I could remember was the chorus. I just got to be free, got to be me. But one thing it did say is that there is nothing too good for us, and there is truly nothing too good for us. So we're looking forward to freedom, and we're looking for every good thing for us, all right? Yeah, so, it was a rough and disappointing week, but, I'm still standing, and so are you. Everyone within earshot, you are true war heroes. You deserve a Purple Heart for your bravery, for your valor, for your stick-to-itiveness, for your honor and your courage in the midst of reputation smears, company slanders, and sometimes family slanders. You still get up and you still make your coffee or your tea, whatever you prefer, or even hot chocolate, as you face entrapment and financial snares. You still brush your teeth and wash your face and get yourself ready to go for work or school or wherever you go, just deal with your day-to-day routines. As you are gang stalked in the road and in the stores, you dare to pursue goals and dreams even though you are being harassed and shot at with electronic weapons, not to mention those who encounter V2K. It's not easy at all. It's not easy. It's not a Sunday walk in the park, by no means. However, it has made you stronger. This experiment has helped you to face some terrible truths. This experiment has given each of us a glimpse. I'm hearing somebody with a dog needs to mute. Somebody with a dog needs to mute. Thank you. This experiment has given each of us a glimpse of what's behind the curtain, to see the evil that lurks within, to see the things that humans will face in the future. As the elite attempt to carry out their global agenda. You read your newspaper or listen to the evening news as you unwind, still being like bitterly brutalized by this vicious program. You are war heroes because you are withstanding military-level combat and weaponry. You are indeed war heroes as you face undue malicious attacks day after day. The end is usually more difficult than the beginning or the middle, perhaps because so much time has passed that we begin to doubt or fear that anything good will ever come out of this, but it will. Perhaps we look around at others and they're doing much better or much worse than us. Well, that's a pure distraction. The truth is rising as it always does. God is preparing the set for our victorious entrance. So prepare and preserve yourself to make it a grand entrance. Make it a grand entrance, fam. Yes, yes, yes. So we have a lot to do tonight. I just want to encourage everybody to stay encouraged because there is hope. There are things behind the scenes happening. There are things all around the nation happening that support our freedom, that says to us that this is our time. And believe it or not, I still dare to believe that TIs will be free in 23. Believe it or not, I really do. So let's get ready. Let's dig into this evening. We have no special guests, but we have some I'm going to call them VIP guests because they're people that are just like you and me right here in the group, and they're going to help to make this a nice full evening. So we have news and information, and then we're going to ask you to partake in the initiatives that we have started already, and we just need to tighten up on as we move forward, things that will help to propel us into freedom. So I'm going to open up with a question. I'm not sure if I asked this question before, but it's a good one. And the question is, other than money, what would you consider satisfactory compensation? And I'll start with an answer. So I'll repeat the question. Other than money, what would you consider satisfactory compensation? And I'm going to say, in addition to my big money purse at the end of this that I will receive for all the evil that has been done, free health care for the rest of my life. And I'm going to justify it. So if you can justify it, please do, with the fact that they have injured my body. They have assaulted my body with direct energy weapons, and I believe that I deserve free health care for the rest of my life. Okay, so I'm going to open up, and we're going to say, welcome to GoGi's After Dinner Jam. Please announce yourself and answer that question. Welcome to the jam. Welcome to GoGi's After Dinner Jam, ladies and gents. So glad you could make it in tonight. Please announce yourself and answer the question. Other than money, what would you consider satisfactory compensation?
Hi, GoGi's. God bless you.
Hi. How are you? Sister Samia? What's going on?
I thought you done got raptured and left me behind.
Not yet.
I would say for me, God, I don't care much about the money, to be honest. What I want to see happen is justice. It's people, not just for me, just not like my perpetrators, but for other people to get justice. That these people will be held accountable.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. I get it. So you want to see people being held accountable for their actions. Thank you so much for that. Love it. Welcome to GoGi's After Dinner Jam. Please announce yourself, city and state where you're from, and to answer, other than money, what would you consider satisfactory compensation?
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Hi, yeah. This is Willie from Columbia. I would
Hi,
consider,
Willie.
Free health care for the rest of our life. And I agree with the last caller, justice, because until someone is held accountable, because no one has not really been held accountable in history for, especially when it comes to government type research and torture program. So someone needs to be held accountable to ensure that this never happens again moving forward.
Thank you. That's Anna Toledo's words. That's her model. Thank you for that. And that is exactly what she says in reference to MK Ultra and COINTELPRO. Since it was the Frank Church Committee terminated it, but no one was held accountable, and no one went to jail. And though this time, some have to go to jail in order to make sure that this does not happen again. Thank you for that, Willie. Thank you for that, Sister Samia. And we're on to something big. Next caller, please. Please announce yourself, city and state you're from, and other than money, what would you consider satisfactory compensation?
Hi, GoGi's.
I hear two people. Go ahead. Hi, Cassandra. Go ahead.
How you doing? Yeah, I'm in total agreement. This when I answers the question that I just heard. Yeah, the man say I want to make sure everyone is involved and is held accountable. I want justice. I want free. I think we all deserve free health care, as you said. And the main thing is justice. I mean, these people have to be held accountable to make sure that there's never another person in the world. That's
okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bless you. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, guys, come on in. Please announce yourself, city and state you're from, and other than money, what would you consider satisfactory compensation? Go ahead.
Hey, this is Tanya, Arkansas.
Hi, Tanya, Arkansas. How are you?
I'm fine. Always good. Keep a positive mind.
All right, now, way to go.
You know what I want? I want all the documentation of what they use on me. I want all the documentation, all my records or whatever it is, documents they have that's pertaining to me. I want them all.
I love it. I love that. And I was thinking about that because if this is an experiment, we want all the data, everything that they received, everything, so that they don't get to keep it. We want all of that back and the documentation of what they use. I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. Thank you for that. Good one.
Hi, GoGi.
All right.
GoGi, this
Hi.
is Lauren from China. Hi.
Hi, Lauren. Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
They can't pay me enough money to bring my mother back, my father back, my grandmother. They can't pay me enough to reverse the damage, the internal damage, medically speaking. So I would say that they would need to, these researchers that's researching our body, they need to be made to reverse every piece of damaged tissue in our bodies. Reversing all of the damage. They need to be made to do. That's what I would like to see done.
All right. Thank you for that, Lauren. I love it. So then we would expect someone else. We would expect to know an assessment of all the damage that was done and correction of all the damage that was done in our body, so that we'll be made new again. And for me, I stand on that scripture that our youth shall be renewed like the eagle. All right. Okay. Please announce yourself. Welcome to GoGi's after dinner jam. I hear a female and a male. You go ahead first. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, GoGi. This is Pat Williamson.
Hi, Pat Williamson. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm squatting here in Indianapolis, Indiana, for all of the things that these terrible vigilantes have done to me. What would make me happy is to be able to go through each one of those jails that these vigilantes are in with a great big bottle or a great big container of Vaseline and just smile at them and will not let them dip their fingers in it. That would make me happy.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Okay. All right. You know, different things make different people happy, but seeing them behind bars, I certainly get it. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. That is one of our booth leaders, by the way. Yes, ma'am. You go, ma'am, and I heard a gentleman, so right after you, sir, please go. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. This is Minister Rochelle from...
Hi, Minister Rochelle.
Amen. Hi, GoGi. I'm straight out of Compton, California. and I agree with what everybody said so far. I really do. Makes a lot of sense. But I personally, what I would like, since they destroyed every job I worked on and didn't stop me from going to school to build up all this, the student loans that I owe. I want them to forgive me because they forced me into early retirement. And so I have all these loans that they keep bugging me after, and who can afford them? So I'm looking for forgiveness.
I love it.
And
I love it.
God bless you all.
Amen. Thank you so much for that, Minister Rochelle. Absolutely. Stop pushing you out of school and yet holding you accountable for your debt. Okay.
Right.
So absolutely. The interference is enormous. It is just absolutely enormous. So thank you. That's a good one. Sir, please announce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Thurston. I'm from Florida, and I haven't even joined the website yet, but I'm a target individual, and basically you said what would be retribution?
Yes, what you find would be retribution, other than money.
Well, when Jesus come back, I mean, I'm to the point where I want him to do the judgment now because I don't know where I'm going, but I know for sure where they're going, you know.
Okay. So that you want to see them. I got you. You want to see if they don't repent. That's exactly where they're going, and you want to see it happen. I thank you, Thurston. Thurston, please do sign up.
And all kinds of stuff, you know.
Medicine, yes. Our health.
Hi, GoGi.
I'm sorry.
You're right, though.
Yes. Thank you so much. Is this your first call, Thurston?
Yeah, first conference call. I'm gonna sign up. I got the thing. I'm definitely signing up tonight on the website.
All right, good. Welcome to the J.A.M. Sign up on the website for targeted justice. Register for the lawsuit. Sign up for the rally if you can come. We're going to Louisiana if we get our day in court as planned, and we have a lot of good things coming. So please check out justice.com and tievents.com, and you'll be full of information for targeted individuals. So welcome to the J.A.M.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Hi, go ahead.
This is G.
.org. I'm sorry. Hi, G in Virginia.
Hi. I would like to see, just to catch up with all of them, just take all of them that you find and catch up with, put them on an island somewhere and surrounded by crocodiles. Don't ever let them escape. Money is not a big thing to me. I'd just like to be able to go out and get in my car, drive it around, go wherever I want to go and come back. Be able to, whatever I purchase, come back. If I purchase like feminine things, come back and put them on my dresser and make them look real pretty, and knowing that I can just sit on myself and be comfortable, and that would make me happy. Just to be able to come home, sit down, be comfortable.
I love it, G. That's that. I mean, you're bringing tears to my eyes. I mean, that's something that people do every day. That's things that we do. I call it the time before time was. The time before time was. That was things that we did all the time. Anna calls it. Anna Toledo calls it Whoville. We like to be in Whoville, where everybody's all just happy, you know. And sometimes we do have Whoville time, you know. So so you know, that is so important, and that's just, I mean, just the little things that we ask for and want, you know. Somebody's laughing. Who's that? Is that Anna? No? Okay. It's the little things that matter so very much, you know. And we really want to thank you for that. That was so special. Okay. Please announce yourself. Welcome to the J.A.M. And what on earth will – go ahead, Regina.
Okay. This is what I would love to see. And it might sound stupid, but I would like them lined up, and God let us give them a whooping right on their butt, each and every one of them, for targeted and pray for them in the end. That's what I would want to do.
You want to line them up and spank them, huh? Line them up and spank them as they. let God spank them. All right. Now, nobody can do it like he can. Mm-hmm.
That's right. Nobody can do it.
I tell you. I mean, guys, it's good to laugh and smile about this stuff because it's the most evil thing ever. Mm-hmm. Welcome to GoGi's After Dinner Jam. Please announce yourself, city and state you're from, and other than money, what would you consider satisfactory compensation for all that's happened?
Hi, GoGi. This is Dory in Florida.
Hi, Dory.
There are evil neighbors that work for this program, but there are also lots of good neighbors that became victims of this program. Some became victims just because of the location. So I would like to have the information of all the victims. They are not on the GSDB, but all those victims' information to be disclosed.
Yeah.
Okay. You want the victims of the program to be disclosed, and what do you want to happen to them? You want them vindicated as well?
Yes, some died too.
Mm-hmm. Somewhat.
Some also died, and without even knowing why.
Yes. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. You're right. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you want the victims of the program to be recognized, and the ones that died that did not know they were in the program, like my mother and my father and others. That is the saddest thing, and I know that our attorney is working on that. So anyway, those people, that hurts my heart so much because they were struggling and they had no idea why. They did not know this evil thing was orchestrated against them, but they knew something was wrong. And some of them didn't. Some of them just thought this was life. And it's just, it's the saddest thing ever. It's just the saddest thing ever. Okay. So next caller, please. Next one, please. Please announce yourself, city and state you're from.
GoGi.
Hi.
Hello, GoGi. This is Jacqueline. Hello, and everyone.
Hi, Jacqueline. How are you?
Oh, well, better now that I'm on the call and joining the call. And I'm in Asheville, but not from Asheville, North Carolina. And what would make me very happy is for all the technology and weaponry on the whole planet Earth to be destroyed totally, completely, and permanently. And then we will be all united and have be united, not divided.
Yes. Thank you. The evil technology, the ones that they're using to abuse us, absolutely, which goes along with our cell tower deweaponization. That fourth panel, we want it brought down because it has nothing to do with anything except for weapons, a weapon that's being used against our body. So, yes, the evil technology that's used for evil and weapons, to put them in a barrel and just burn them, just destroy them. I'm with you with that. Yeah. We're going to hear a little bit later from, read a little bit about Robert Duncan, who created some of the technology, thinking that he was helping the armed forces out to deal with their adversaries, and meanwhile, it's being used against civilians, citizens. So we'll read a little bit about that in a little bit. But thank you for that. Thank you. All right. Next caller, please. Please announce yourself, city and state you're from.
Hi, GoGi.
Hi, how are you?
Liliana from New York.
Mm-hmm.
I adhere to the proposal of our colleague who just spoke. And I would like to add that there should be very intense educational programs in at primary level, elementary school, secondary level at high schools, and tertiary level, universities, and all the levels of education, and also with educational programs of other human rights organizations to educate people about never again committing crimes against humanity on earth. Everything that people need to know, how evil and how diabolical these plans against attacking human beings are, that we thought we had gotten rid of them after the Second World War, but evil again reemerged. But if there's strong educational programs so that people can see how perverse these crimes against humanity are, perhaps then we will all be educated and re-educated on how to avoid, being a part of a system of crimes against humanity. It has to be at the education level, at all levels of education.
I agree. I thank you. That is what a great one, and it is because had we had that kind of education all along, we would have known what we were going through sooner, or we would have been able to wrap our brains around this sooner. It's like who would even fathom that this program existed? So when things are happening at home, like somebody's turning your garbage over every day, or doing something in your yard, or doing something, passing rumors around at work, you just think it's a regular, experience. You would never, ever think the government was in charge of that. You wouldn't think they even cared about what you thought of a smear campaign against you at work. We think that they're out there protecting us, doing their jobs. But no, they're in the minutia of our lives. Unbelievable. So if we can look at, I agree, a program to me about that starts when it's young, about ethics and technology, about ethics and weaponry, and about ethics with the government and civilians, and that fine line that's drawn, and also in a course for each level that talks about every single governmental experiment against civilians, and there are several, to the point where you wonder, when you tell people what you're going through and that the government is doing it, the only thing you can wonder is, why don't they believe you? Do they know their history? Have they heard what has already happened before?
Right.
Because this way, when they're approached, maybe they won't participate. So I love that one, and I think, when all is said and done, I'll be a part of that, making sure that happens. So thank you.
Because we need the building blocks of moral standards from early age, so that then nobody would feel inclined to do immoral things against other human beings,
Well, there will be some that will feel inclined, but because unfortunately there are people that draw to evil, and that it's for the love of money, not money, just they have the love of money, greed, lust, and power. Because a lot of the ones who start this program have everything they could imagine, but they still want more. They want control over our minds, like as if we're walking around like little bots. I don't know why that echo is there. If anybody else hears it, if it's somebody, please mute your phone while you're not talking. I know you're not talking now because I am. So, but thank you for that, Liliana. Next person, please. Please announce yourself, city and state you're from, and other than money, what would you consider satisfactory compensation? Go ahead.
Albert from the Virgin Islands.
Hi.
Yes, GoGi. I would like a truthful movie or documentary of what we've all been through.
All right. I don't know. What did you say your name is, Orville?
Albert.
Albert. Albert. Hi, Albert.
Yes.
We want several movies and documentaries. How about everybody starring in their own movie or picking someone to star in their movie? If you want a documentary, we want just that education that we were just talking about. Liliana mentioned it could be our documentaries and movies should be a part of it. They should have live factual information, seeing everyday moms and dads tell their stories. Absolutely, Albert, I love it. Thank you so much. And the funding for it. Wonderful. I love that. Okay. Please announce yourself. Welcome to the J.A.M.
Yes, this is Sakib from Atlanta. I'd like to
Hi.
add to that. I would like to add to that, but we should also, these criminals should not get away with a slap on the wrist like last time. They need to be held accountable for the crime, and they should pay the price for it, not like a get away with a fine or community service, a 2 months. Many of them need to be locked up permanently. Some of them need to be given death penalty. On top of that, I'd like to add, we need to keep track of those TIs over the years who have passed away while going through this. And many of them have passed away because of these tortures. We should have a database, just like like the criminals have a database. We need to have a database with all of them, so that they need to be held accountable for not only those who are alive, also those they have killed. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Totally agree. Totally agree. They need to be compensated as well. Their families, their loved ones, whoever they left behind, they need to be compensated for, even in their, what do they call that, posthumous? Yeah, in their death. Okay, thank you for that. All right. We'll take a few more. Please announce yourself, city and state you're from.
Hello.
Hi, how are you, sir? Someone has music playing. Go ahead.
Roger from Connecticut. I sent you an email last week. I sent you an email last week. But
where'd you send it, Roger? I didn't get it.
Oh, I sent it to your email about the meeting in Houston, and I asked you a few questions about the rally and stuff, and I didn't want to take up the time, but anyways, I did send it to you. I'll try to send it again to.
What? Go ahead. To where?
After I wrote it down, dear. You told somebody.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I sent it to that one, but anyways, I wanted to say this. As a person, retired law enforcement for 32 years and retired military reserve, I tried to commit suicide twice.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I was standing in front of the Excella train, and by God's grace, and I took many, many pills one time, but it's been 7 years, but now they're attacking my grandchild. And all I ask that God would move and that we would have God Almighty through Jesus Christ that move, because these people are evil and wicked. My poor grandbaby was sitting in my house, and her grandmother's passed, but she was sitting there just puking and saying, Papa, I'm sick. And come find out they were shocking her. And that poor little baby, I could do nothing for him. She ended up in the hospital. But to see how they destroy people's families and lives, like the young man said from the Caribbean, Albert, I think this needs to be a film, like a major film, and having all the people come out and show the truth. Just as they showed with with Oxycontin, the painkiller medicine on Netflix, something documentary show it all there, because there's so many stories out there. I'm sorry I'm rambling on, but Albert, you have a good idea about a documentary of this. That's all.
Thank you for that, Roger. I wow is all I have to say. I'm sorry for your pain. Thank you.
I'll email you again. I just need guidance because this just came to light with my granddaughter and stuff, but I want to get more involved because this is our lives and it's reality, and I gotta live through it. I'm not gonna let them break me. I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna keep standing, but I just need to get more involved. So that's what it was all about, and how I help and donate or whatever.
Thank you so much. Listen, the Justice Action Meeting at proton.me. I don't recall your email, and I recall most emails. So unless it was sent like the last few days, I didn't see it. So please.
Last week. I'll email you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. My pleasure. Yes. All right. Please announce yourself. We'll take one or two more. Then we're going to dive into what we have in store tonight. Hi, Jennifer. Hi.
I'd like to see all of the parents that have unfairly, unjustly lost their children or custody of their children or been alienated from their children to be reunited by CPS.
Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, yes, because they break up parents and their children. If they're attacking the parents, sometimes they can't handle it, and their children are taken in the midst of it, and it's because of the evil program. Absolutely. They should be reunited without stipulations. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. I'm writing that down. Hi. How are you?
Yeah. And I'm grateful to be here tonight. I would say what I would want is the time back that I've lost with my loved ones who have been mind controlled into secondary personalities. But more than that, I want all of this to be an unveiling of the truth. And it's getting very biblical out there, as many have mentioned. And you know, I just believe that this can be used as an opportunity. This law can be used as an opportunity, not just to free all of us, but to awaken. Because Jesus did not come into the world to diminish the greatness of others. He came to awaken it. And I know that the responsible for this will have to pay their penalty. And that's, I'm sure God will take care of that. But what I would like is to see everyone know the truth and people wake up to know that there's only one amazing, good, and loving, living God, and that everything good comes from Him.
Okay. Thank you for that, Lindsay. Thank you for that, and thank you for being on the J.A.M. We'll hear from you a little bit later as well. Absolutely, that goes along with the education we were talking about, but the education, because we talk about end times, guys, and we're in those last days, and this really is the tip of the iceberg, showing us what is in store. That, you know, there is a group of people that are coming against the masses and trying to destroy our bodies, our lives, our minds, our livelihood, everything about us. And so we want to reveal all of that. And much of it is written in the Bible. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Lindsay. I'm going to take one or two more, and then we're going to close down, and we're going to get into our current events. We have some great information for you guys, and we want to share. Hi, go ahead.
Hi. I actually would like to I don't know what it's called, but it's the satellite where all the remote neural monitoring is being stored. I'd like to have that destroyed safely so that all the people who are connected to the computer are safe. And I'd also like maybe somebody in a court case, if somebody could call Obama as a witness and ask him if this brain initiative of his and versus what's happening now, if he's satisfied with the result of his brain initiative, because if it weren't for his brain initiative, then there wouldn't be any remote neural monitoring.
Okay. So Obama and the brain initiative brought to task. Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
All right. Thank you. Hi.
I'm Wendy.
Hi.
I'm from North Dakota, Fargo, North Dakota. And,
hi, Wendy.
Hi. My first time calling. I kind of missed the question. Is it what we'd like to see happen? Just what would make us happy?
Okay. So, yes, it is. Other than money, what would you consider satisfactory compensation for all you've been through in this evil program?
Oh, that's such a tough one. I feel just like everybody else is saying, awareness. I would love, I don't know if anything could compensate it, not even money, but I would love if there could right now, where a group of us be working on a video for this to explain to people at our church, or to other. I'd love it to be faith-based, but if that's not everyone's experience. But if it just videos to explain this to, say, our coworkers or members of our family who don't understand. Although my family is also controlled into secondary personality, so I'm alone now. But I guess just a video for maybe not just awareness, but just kind of maybe, I don't know, I suppose what we go through. I guess I would love to see that.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Wendy. We talked about doing a documentary, movie. I believe we're all going to get plenty of opportunities to do movies. I have a book. The book is called GoGi's 10 Signs Which Indicate You Are a Targeted Individual, and it's good to introduce to families and so forth. It's on the Targeted Justice Etsy or Amazon, and it's available now. But also, I want to say I love the idea. I love the idea. We have to get it out there. I believe that even after we're free, other people who did not know that they were targeted are going to begin to wake up and say, well, am I targeted? Am I? Well, what they're saying, it sounds like something I've been through. You mean they go through, they come on your job and mess with you there? They're not going to know that it happens. And once they see and realize planes following me around is a part of the targeting program, this V2K is a part of the targeting program, so it's going to be a great awakening. So let's get ready. It's not going to be over. When we're free, we're going to be leaders helping the world to reconcile with this. As we reconcile with our loved ones, we're going to have to decide who we're going to let be around us again or who we're going to push away. We're going to have to say, why did you do that to me? Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you say something? And a lot of it might be fear. A lot of it might be, we don't know what they told people. I hear they tell them the most horrible things about TIs. So we don't know what they told them. So there's going to be a lot of forgiving, a lot of repositioning, and a lot of things going on after we're free. So let's get ready for it. Let's preserve ourselves and get ready.
Hi, Gogi.
Okay. Hi, how are you?
Okay, this is Tori in New Jersey, and one of the things, hey, Gogi. One of the things that listening to all of you made me think is that with it completely exposed, now mental health care professionals can now work on our behalf instead of gaslighting or anything like that. They can, because being immersed in this trauma for so long, for a lot of us, we are not who we used to be. I still believe in Jesus. They haven't taken that away, but they have destroyed a lot. And I think being able to get care now from a person who can just be 100% honest, someone who's been educated on the psychological tactics and what would have been the effect on the person. so now they can provide good and honest, godly care for that individual.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, as you say that, reassessment, a true reassessment, because so many TIs, especially those with V2K, have been classified as schizophrenic. So many have been misdiagnosed and mistreated and put on medication that they didn't need, but, you know, for the planes that they thought were following them, and they really were, you know, and counseling. And also, you know, like when you are in a cult, they have something called deprogramming. So sometimes we're going to need some deprogramming, or we're going to need just help for the PTSD. And we all can, you know, are going to suffer, you know, have suffered from this post-traumatic stress disorder, because this is traumatic, very, very traumatic, because who could have imagined in this world that in this democratic world, supposedly, that this was going on? You know, we're supposed to have free speech, and it's being challenged as we speak.
Oh, God,
okay.
The ability to go out and enjoy a restaurant without being concerned whether the food has been tampered with, and to go to
God,
and not have to worry about, oh, he's at this store, let's watch him while he's here. Just not having to worry. And like you said, it would take deprogramming to deal with the trauma from all these years.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that, Tori from New Jersey. Thank you. All right, guys.
This is. I'm sorry to add just one more comment. This is
sure.
Steve again from Atlanta. For Dr. Lenbar's last episode with with Anna Toledo, there was a older lady who went to get tested as a neurologist, Lydia, in New Jersey, and with she had a long she had a lot to say, but part of that she said that her red blood cell was very low, and I've been hit very hard, and same thing with me. Blood test, red blood cell count very low. So that's something that these attacks are doing, which is can cause other serious illnesses down the road.
Right. We talked about free health care, and I think Lauren mentioned reversing the things that they have done to our bodies. So we we're entitled to that, absolutely, because some of these illnesses or things that have happened, particularly the implants, we would not have if it weren't for this evil program. These foreign bodies would not be in our bodies. The things that they have subjected us to, this radiation, are you kidding me? People live a life trying to stay away from these things, eating healthy and so forth, and they're just flooding our bodies with radiation. It's absurd. It's unheard of, and we definitely have to deal with it. So absolutely, guys, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to close down here. You all have given me, I have a page worth of notes, and this is really great stuff, and I believe as we become free that we will see these things come to pass, and we have to stay active with it. So let's not just get our money, get compensated for it, and then go in a hole and say, oh, I'm so glad that's over. Let's be a part of making sure that it never happens again.
Right.
Just like it said about the whole Holocaust, never again. We want to make sure this never happens again and put things in place so that it doesn't. And we want to tell our children and our children's children on down what has happened in our family and make sure that they're aware, and so it never happens again. All right?
Yeah.
So thank you, everybody, and let's close it down. We're going to get ready to start the program. We're going back into Q. All right, you guys are phenomenal. I mean, what great answers and great information. Makes you think and appreciate each of you. All right, we want to look at. Hello?
Kim, I couldn't get through. This is Kim. I have a couple ideas from Karen, that worker.
Oh, that's right, Kim. Go ahead.
She was with the NSA
Okay, but let me just wait 1 second. Okay, let me just introduce it. All right, I did want that to happen anyway. So Karen Stewart also dealt with this question, and she had some answers to it. I did not see her answers, but I asked Kim to listen in tonight and see and compare like what she was saying and what we're saying, and see if there's something that she can add. Like, is there something else that she said we should do in addition to what we're saying? Because these answers are phenomenal. Go ahead, Kim.
Yeah.
Let's get one or two.
Oh, can I just skim a little bit? Or is that all right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right. The Medicare medical care was really good. The rest of our life, and also not just them, our family, our pets, they've been all affected with radiation that we've had to bear, so that their health care should be taken care of. And then also every person in the chain of command that has private or government that has carried out these orders and they didn't stop it, they should get punished. And also a state-of-art protection that
Wait, let me think about that now. Wait, Kim. And for me that one is not black and white, but it's something that I believe should be raised, and I'm sure it will be dealt with. Like, I know that and that would be a nice thing that maybe we can discuss next week. So let's remind me that we're going to have that question next week. Should the ones underneath the person in charge be held accountable? And I'm saying that because I know that there are strict rules in the service. There are strict rules everywhere at work. And so if your boss tells you to do something that's unethical, do you do it? And if you do it, are you held culpable, or is the boss held culpable? So let's leave that. I like that one as something for us to talk about next week. So remind me, okay? Give me just one or two more.
Oh yeah, state-of-the-art protection with a special security service, like a
security
weapon 24/7 to make sure they can detect any problem of anybody threatening or trying to gas or poison anybody. That they'll have a regular line they can call 24/7 to stop any bad behavior done to people, because we need to be treated with respect, and we have a special card to make sure that we get treated with respect front of the line and don't have to put up with this bad behavior anymore, so people will give us good care or treat us with kindness.
Okay, thank you. So let's stop it right there for now, and maybe we'll come back to that again, the rest of that again next week. So one of the things we put in the letter was that we are in a protected class, and I like that we have a card that goes with it or some kind of ID that goes with it. And the detection and security, that is awesome. Some kind of security that we have that can detect if this is being done to us again. And then to me, it should be automatically reported, where we don't have to wait for the cops or wait to see if someone believes us. It's automatically reported. So thank you. Boy, that's good. Let's leave that there, and we'll come back to that. We'll bring that up next week again. All right? Thank you, Kim. All right. So, guys, we're going to get in. I just want to make sure that we kind of end on time. That was fantastic. I love that. And we have some things that's going on that we want to review. And so let's get busy. All right. Here's this article that I'm sorry. I'm pulling it up right now. Okay. There's an article I want to share. It's about the UN and the UN banning torture weapons. Now, you remember Nils Meltzer was replaced. And I'm getting the article. I apologize. So here we go. The name of the article is UN torture expert accuses private firms of making ever more cruel instruments. So the special rapporteur is Alice Edwards, and she presented to the UN General Assembly a list of 20 items that she wants to see banned. Okay, so she said that the private firms have made these cruel instruments. Now, she's accused the manufacturers of developing ever more cruel ways to inflict pain in crowd control and individual restraint equipment. And she called for an international ban on the multi-billion-dollar trade. Okay. I'm not sure if, so some of the devices, she doesn't really get to our devices. Like they include spiked batons, thumb cuffs, body-worn electric shock devices, sham box, gang chains, and millimeter wave weapons such as heat rays. But I don't see microwave weapons, so let me see.
Well, millimeter waves are high-energy microwaves, so when I was attacked by that, I was burnt like with high-energy microwaves all over the body at the same time, from top to bottom.
So she's proposing that we ban those and that they be removed from the market right away. She said they have no legitimate law enforcement or other purpose that couldn't be achieved by another instrument that is also available. So at least they're looking closely at all of these things, and they're trying to ban them. So that's the United Nations.
Yep.
Okay?
Is that an article or her report?
That's an article. It's an article. The Guardian. It's
The Guardian.
in The Guardian. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Mm-hmm. All right. The next we have the fusion centers. Now, before, when I was in, again, as Anna calls it, Whoville, when I was in La La Land, I'm going to call it La La Land. When I was in La La Land, before I knew that this existed, I'd never had heard of the fusion centers. I didn't know that they existed. So these articles and this information is very important that it stays before the public. So let's hear about the fusion centers. Okay, let's play the first clip, please.
On to investigate these fusion centers. At the Ohio Fusion Center, we were met with about 4 very big armed guards when we went in there, simply to deliver an open records request. Yeah, this one's really scary. This is the Arizona Fusion Center, and we interviewed this woman right here, and she actually informed us that they run organizers of protests. They run their name through their databases. I asked her if I were to organize a rally, would she run my name to the Fusion Center databases? She said yes. So that's legitimate First Amendment activity. With a lot of this collection, this activity reporting, the government takes what they think is a pattern or a profile, and they apply that to you.
To me, Mike, that's as anti-American as you can get.
Right, and it creates a huge chilling effect where people think, I don't want to be involved in politics because I might be spied on. Somebody might suggest that I could be a terrorist because I'm involved with this group.
Profiling anybody and everybody who disagrees with Big Brother. I knew the next step, only I was hoping I was wrong. Is this a step towards martial law?
Certainly the involvement of the military in these fusion centers is something that's very concerning to us.
Martial law. I've seen that in the Philippines. The military moving in and taking over our communities, stomping on our rights. And these fusion centers are helping grease the skids. So, Mike, these fusion centers, they're located everywhere. What's one of the big ones that you know of?
Well, they have a number of big ones. One of the very slick productions is the Colorado Fusion Center.
The Colorado Fusion Center is my target.
That's it.
Okay, thank you. So yes, I remember the first one was saying that if you have organize a rally, will they run your name through the Fusion Center? They said yes. Okay, and So these fusion centers that's where a lot of the information trickles through, and where the list is, they have our list. They have our numbers and our information. So I'm just happy that there's a conversation about the Fusion Center, because right now our amendment rights are being challenged, even our freedom of speech, and through the social media thing. So now there's 2 cases that are in the Supreme Court right now, and one of them is Missouri versus Biden, which I'm hoping, we're believing that the Supreme Court is going to uphold what Louisiana, the Fifth Circuit said, which kind of banned the government from interfering with our social media platforms. And we know, I don't know how many times you've been in Facebook jail, or how many times you've been censored from a post or shadow banned and so forth, and all of this is really within our rights to, it goes against it violates our rights. And there's the second case. I think the name of it is Facebook versus Texas, but it involves Texas, and Texas is going against one of the social media platforms for, once again, shadow banning. So our free speech is being tested in the courts, and we want to make sure that when they make these rules, when the Supreme Court does rule on it, that it is totally enforced. Maybe I'll get back 2 of my Facebook pages that have been tampered with and that I had to struggle with and just gave up and said forget it. So they really do interfere. Why? One reason is because they don't want the targeting program to come out. The fact that this has been going on for decades and only a handful of people are talking about it. There are people talking about it all over the place, actually, but it hasn't hit mainstream media yet. Jesse Waters was the first person from Fox, the first commentator that said, text me, I want to know more about this. What's going on? What is this about? What do you mean the FBI creates its own investigations, creates a problem, then investigates it and makes money from doing this? Tell me more. So I hope that everybody that's listening has already sent the 2 text messages to the number, one telling them who you are as a targeted individual, and the other saying interview Attorney Anna Toledo. So, all right, let's continue. That was the mention.
The clip about fusion centers, where is it from, please?
It's from TikTok. It's from a social media platform. Mm-hmm.
All right, because you need to remember that the 7 September video from Anonymous declares that the fusion centers are behind all of the human experimentation programs that have been covertly carried out in the United States.
Right.
And what this clip says about the military involvement within the fusion centers, that's how fusion centers have been using military weapons of war in local communities in the United States. The microwave weapons uses are from the fusion centers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's strong involvement. So I'm just happy that there's communication and conversations about the fusion centers since they are so detrimental and, yes, a key part of the program. All right, let's keep moving so that we can move along with our time. What is the next one? The next one is an article. So this article, again, is about FISA Section 702. Remember, it expires on December 31st of 2023, this year. And we want it to expire and not be reauthorized because it doesn't really give permission, but it has been misused, abused to get warrantless searches and to surveil us and to hack our phones and all that. So if they flash a badge and say we're on the domestic terrorist list and talk about Section 702, that's how it's used against us for electronic hacking. So we really want to make sure that it's not reauthorized, and I sure hope that everyone did go to the ACLU site and vote no for it, although it's really going to be up to our elected officials. So let me just breeze through this article and see if there's anything that we haven't discussed already. 1 second. So, 1 second. Yeah. All right. Why am I not seeing the article? All right. I don't find the article. I think I'm going to go to the clip and come back for it. A minute. Second. All right, I'm going to go to the clip and come back for it. All right. So, but we know basically that we want to make sure that FISA Section 702 is not reauthorized. Okay, there's a clip with FBI Christopher Wray, and in this clip he's talking about various things that is highlighting national security and the reason why we need FISA Section 702, and that's very dangerous. So we always keep an eye on that, because when they see that this kind of ruling or regulation is getting ready to expire, then they can create ways to keep it going. And so far, so many of the elected officials are speaking out against it, and that they won't vote for it the way it stands right now. So let's play the clip, and if I find the article, I'll share it. If not, I'm going to move on. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
As the fighting escalates between Israel and Hamas, the FBI is now warning about the growing threat of terrorist attacks here in the U.S.
That's right. The FBI director says the agency is seeing an increase in reported threats against both Jewish and Muslim Americans. And now local authorities are working to keep these communities safe. Joining us is NBC News investigative correspondent Tom Winter. So, Tom, did the FBI director elaborate on the exact kinds of threats they're seeing right now?
Right. Well, it's all centered around what we're seeing in the Middle East, in this Israel and Hamas war, what's going on there. There's an awful lot of rhetoric online, and he made those comments in front of the International Association of Chiefs of Police gathering in San Diego over the weekend, focusing in telling them effectively, hey, we're on this, but we've got an increase in threats, and now it's up to law enforcement to determine how credible these threats are, if any of these individuals are capable of acting out, and if so, if it meets the threshold. You know, you're allowed to say a lot in this country under the First Amendment, but you're not allowed to threaten people's lives. And so if certain things are triggered, then they're able to make an arrest. Or if you're supporting Hamas materially with funding, financing, or trying to help them out in any way, they're a designated foreign terrorist organization. You could end up in handcuffs. So that's what the FBI appears to be focused on.
I know the FBI director also mentioned what we would consider lone wolves, right? Like single actors acting on their own, which I imagine is very difficult to monitor or stop.
Very difficult, if not impossible, because basically it's somebody who's either consuming all sorts of online rhetoric or media and makes a decision that they want to act out in some way for their cause or against a cause, and they may not post anything online. They may not tell anybody they're going to do what they're going to do. They may not even purchase a gun. And so, yes, those are the most difficult things to stop, and that's why you're seeing this visible police presence outside of here in New York City, for example, synagogues and mosques and other public areas of gathering, just to make sure people understand that if you do try to show up there and do something, you're going to be met with force. You're going to be met with a uniformed officer. So that's what they're focused on.
Tom Winter, thank you so much.
Of course. Thanks for watching.
Okay, thank you. So, basically, it's when issues like this, very, tense, and sensitive issues come up, like what's going on with in Israel, with the Israelis and the Palestinians, it can be, people can use it for their benefit. So to use this to say we need FISA Section 702, or is not beyond the FBI. So what we're hoping is that people still can see through the gaslighting and understand that what has happened, the number of warrantless surveillances against regular civilians, which are enormous. I think it was 200 and something thousand. FBI first quoted 300 and something thousand, and now it's 200 and something thousand. And that's about us. And the hearing that was at the Jim Jordan hearing, I believe, and they thought it was an absurd number. And so when you look at those numbers, then and the FBI says we're going to fix it, we know it's problematic, but we're going to fix it, and the hearing and the others kind of scoff at that. You didn't fix it yet. So I believe that there's a big move to make sure that it is not reauthorized, and no one wants anyone to use any instance, particularly a sensitive matter like this, to keep this going, which would be really to keep the targeted individual program going. So, all right, we're just going to keep our eyes on that, and we're going to make sure that anything that we do, which is included in our letter to the senators, that it is asking that is not authorized. Section 702 is not authorized. Okay, so then the last thing, I want to look at two more things. We have a lawsuit. This person is talking about doing a lawsuit. Seems like it's related to V2K. I'm going to mention that briefly, and then we're going to hear about the readings, and then we're going to move into our work. Okay, so we have two more items. So this is the lawsuit. This post, we noticed, one second, let me make sure you can hear me. Okay. This post, it's a group of people that is noticing something with B2K, and they're talking about prosecuting. But it says the next few months are going to be slow-rolled. The state says trial, but we all know they don't want one. Trials cost money. My defense is either trial or complete dismissal, both of which will cost the state money when I sue them for damages. But I don't want to sue them for damages. I just want them to use the powers that the people gave them to do their job and prosecute criminals, uncover this corruption so I can go back to living a normal life. I didn't want this fight, but they brought it to my doorstep. They brought it on board commercial airlines. They just issued death threats. So I'm seeing this through for me and all the other victims suffering, with the hopes that people pay attention and we learn from the experience. Do not get your hopes up, but we are looking into some legal framework that would allow us to pull the engineer's telecommunications logs. We might be able to ID his associates that carried out the attack, if this leads back to the United States Air Force or Raytheon. So it says new strategic threat emerging as weapons seek to target brain function, inflict neurological damage. Okay, so this is a gentleman that we are following to see what goes on with the lawsuit that he's claiming to pose, must be pro se, in reference to his V2K. All right, and he's trying to get the engineer's telecommunication logs. So he's probably going to do a FOIA, but he's saying some kind of legal framework. So we'll just listen. He's sharing very little, and I understand why, or we understand why, as TIs, so we'll just pay attention. All right? Okay, next we have Liliana, if you can read the 5 or 6 statements from Dr. Duncan, and this is continuing on our portion of mind control.
Oh, I had forgotten about that. But, I have to look
Liliana, the only reason your mic is open is to tell those things, but it's okay. You can do it next week. Thank you.
All right.
Okay,
yeah.
do it next week.
So much was going on, with the interview with Len Burr on Sunday, and I've been working on your booklet also. So
okay.
I
get it. Thank you, though.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No problem. Next week. It's not a problem.
Okay.
All right, guys. So that ends our current events portion. I hope that, if you have any questions, please save them to the end. But I hope that that it was inspiring or informative. We have some things going on in the news, once again, that is pertains to us. Okay. I'm just making sure we did everything, and we did. So let's take a commercial break and get ready for work. We got work to do. This is my favorite part. All right. Go ahead.
Are you a targeted individual looking for support and connection? Look no further than TIEvents.org, the ultimate event site for targeted individuals worldwide. Discover a wide range of upcoming events, from conferences and meetups to rallies and fundraisers. Connect with like-minded individuals, participate in informative conference calls, and explore a wealth of resources. Visit TIEvents.org today and join a thriving community of targeted individuals. Together, we can make a difference. TIEvents.org, empowering targeted individuals worldwide.
All right. Thank you. Visit TIEvents.org for all the information on the conference calls and events in the TI community. And I welcome tonight the TikTok community that I have a new TikTok. It's at GoGi's Justice. Please follow me and check out the posts and so forth. And I thank you for the people who've been following me, and thank you for joining the call, especially if it's your first one. Don't forget to come back, all right? All right, so one of the things, there's a few things that we have initiated a lot of action, and we want to make sure that everybody is keeping up. The one thing that we talked about is journaling, okay? So I always talk about journaling. When I talk about journaling, I mainly talk about the gang stalking, the cars that are following you, people following you, to write every detail down. Planes, for the planes, please write the direction it's going in. And, I know it's hard to see what plane it is, but the direction it's going in, time, date, they should have record of it somewhere. But all of your information to be very, very specific. And one of the things Anna Toledo, Attorney Anna, told us was to also talk about your emotions, how you felt about it when it was happening. So the closer you write to the date that it's happening and the time, you'll have those feelings fresh and live, so you can include them in your journal. So you write the date, any names, time, places, location, direction, anything, things that were said, things you heard, and how you felt. And I never ever suggested, and this came again, once again, an idea from our attorney. I didn't think about it, but for those who experience V2K, to journal as well. So I have a targeted justice volunteer. I asked her to come on the line. As you know, Melody, one of the targeted justice volunteers who deals with V2K, started Victory Over V2K on Mondays at 8:30 Central Standard Time. So please join her call on Monday nights. And for those of you who battle with this, then please, the journaling is helpful. And I know Lindsay did it, and she's one of our fantastic leaders and volunteers at Target Justice. So I asked her to come on and share about the journaling experience. Lindsay, are you there?
I am. Hi, everybody.
Great. Mm-hmm.
I am grateful to be here tonight. So my name's Lindsay. I have been TI. I've had V2K now for almost 9 years, I believe. And what has been so important to me, I mean, this has been such an amazing experience. This is something that I believe God is bringing us together to do. I believe that, there's a quote I heard from a book I read called The Way of the Warrior, and it says, the way of the warrior teaches us that we cannot stand in our greatness if we cannot stand in our pain. And sometimes with what I've realized through years of V2K and years of them trying to convince my family I was schizophrenic and going to doctors and taking tons of medications for schizophrenia, when internally and intuitively the whole time I just knew that there was something more going on. There wasn't a whole lot of information back then in 2014 as there is now. And basically one of the biggest tools that I have learned to use is everything that comes to my mind, whether, like God, you said, whether it's my emotions that day, whether it's exact circumstances, things that are happening, whether it's basically what I've realized too is finding our support groups and reaching out is so important. I mean, I have felt more alive since I've been a part of Targeted Justice, just in the past few years. We cannot heal what we don't reveal, and I think it's not just to reach out and find support in our TI community, but to become as self-aware as we possibly can. We can't change what we don't know. If we don't know ourselves, we can't change it. And I realized through this V2K that I had two choices. I could either lose my mind or I could get to know my mind. And that, what I chose to do is every day I make a conscious choice. I went through, I heard a gentleman speak of suicide attempts. I honestly didn't think I was going to ever even be able to live with this. When all of it started, I thought about ending it too, and that's something that's very much against my values. But that's how miserable I was. And when this first starts, it is shocking. I spent so long, hoping something was going to come rescue me. And then what I realized happened was God basically took away everyone in my life who I could trust so that I could trust him fully. He made everybody in my life have secondary personalities. So I know how alone that many of you are feeling with that. And what I've realized is he did that. He did that to that all of this pain that we're going through, all this suffering, it's strengthening us bit by bit every single day. And a lot of times, things will come to my mind, and I feel like it's just little pieces of the puzzle, and I journal about it. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's a good quote that someone had said that I can relate to. It doesn't matter if it's the way I felt that day, because when I go back and I reread all this, I'm reliving it, and I'm remembering that feeling of despair when all this started, and I remember that every day I have a choice. I can wake up and I can stay in my misery and be miserable, or I can make a choice to actively do something to get out of it. Peace doesn't come because we finally have control over our lives. Peace comes when we no longer feel the need to control. This is a horrible program, and it's affecting what I believe is God's army. I believe all of us. I believe everybody on this earth has a purpose and is special. But I definitely believe that, and I can just sense it, that we're all here for a reason. We're all going through what we're going through for a reason. You know, no one.
Yeah.
There's no book for dummies on how to deal with people breaking into your mind and hitting you with synthetic telepathy and mind control, and there's no book that teaches you how to deal with that.
Right.
And so it's a process. It's a process, and I believe that God's power is shown in weakness. We're able to help other TIs that are suffering from the same things that we are. I'm able to help other people who are experiencing V2K, and they are able to help me because we both have been through that experience. We have that weakness. I'm also involved in the program of Alcoholics Anonymous. I've been in recovery now for almost 5 years, but there's a lot of people that are trying to cope with V2K or cope with being targeted, and they don't know how, because we're human and we want to try to rely on this solution, but that solution doesn't serve me anymore. And the one that does is reaching out to a higher power. And sometimes that higher power can just be another group of TIs who I reach out to and talk to. And when I can't find someone to talk to, I go back and I journal. I think one day I would love to be able to write a book on all of this, as I'm sure many of you would. I know GoGi did, and I think that's amazing. I think we have something very special here to share. And sorry, GoGi, I know I'm going way over on my time, but
thank you.
I believe in everybody here. I believe in all of us, and I know that we're all going to make a difference.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. Thank you for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I see the value of the journaling. Like you said, if you can't reach anyone, you journal because it feels like you're talking to someone, you're sharing your thoughts, And I do, like Anna, I understand the specialty area of V2K, and hats off to you, So I understand when you wake up one day when we're free and you don't hear anything, how amazing it will be. And yes, to write things and write about it, but just to relish and cherish, the silence and just being back to yourself. And I'm going to ask you one question, and then we're going to move on. But do you think when that day happens, do you think people will need help adjusting, or it will just become natural? You'll just naturally go back?
That's a great question, GoGi, truly. I believe that it's going to be a process. I don't know what it's like to think anymore without, I can't really describe it, but the way that they put information in our minds and the voices that we do hear, I used to engage with them when this first started, and I don't do that anymore. I hear things sometimes, but I do the best I can to go along and try to tune into all the other noises around me. But I believe because I've spent so many years actively trying to listen to the sounds around me, the people around me, so that I don't have to hear the V2K. You're right. I think that's going to be a process that's going to need to be reversed. And I know many of us are in favor of opening up, treatment centers and trauma centers for TIs once all of this unveiling happens, so we can all start to heal. And I think it's going to be a process, and I'm excited for it. I truly am excited for it.
Me too.
But
it's
just
going
going to
be wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. We'll be stronger together. Love it. Thank you so much. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
So thank you, Lindsay. So make sure, yes, that you journal, whether it's about the the direct energy weapons, like where you were hit, how you were hit, and things of that nature, and especially the gang stalking, because that is totally black and white, and the V2K as well. Sometimes you want to write some of the things that are said, or just what's happening. It'll be very important and impactful, because I think one of the things the Attorney Anna said, is that she, a jury hearing it, and hearing how you feel about it, they will get to feel, with you what's going on, what happened, and what has happened. So thank you for that. All right, the other thing, so we're encouraging, I started with, when I started with this, my journal was my best friend, and I just had it everywhere, and I wrote every single thing down, and I have certainly gotten away from it, and it's awful because I've missed so much, and things have happened that I didn't even write down. I cannot believe it. But let's not rely on our memory. We will not remember these details. We won't. If we write it down, we will have details that we won't have if we don't write it down. So please keep writing. Write dates, times, how you feel, everything. Keep writing. They will come in handy. Those journals will come in handy. Those details will come in handy. And so the other thing that we recommended was the FOIAs. So we recommended the Privacy Act FOIAs, where you go to FBI and DHS online, and DOJ wants you to send in a FOIA to see whether you're in the terrorist screening database or not. And remember, we don't expect them to say, yes, you are. You're in handling code 3 and 4, and this is your number. No, you're not going to get that, most likely. But what you do receive back, you're going to hold for your case, for your time, for your day in court. So, but please do go the full distance, meaning send it in, get your response, and appeal it. Send in an appeal as well. Go all the way with your Privacy Act FOIAs. So on September 30th, now I believe that in response to our lawsuit, but because they weren't answering it, and although they dismissed a lot of it, or they trying to, we are in appellate court, they held the portion about FOIAs because they have clear regulations and deadlines and so forth that have not been followed about FOIA requests. So now all of a sudden, September 30th is the date that the old FOIA requests ended, and they put out a disclaimer that, we're so backed up. We're just having such a hard time with all these numerous requests. Finally, they're saying this. I wonder why. So now people are getting a different response. So I asked Faretta. She's a veteran, and I've been hearing a lot from veterans. And veterans, I really believe, I hope you can find your admission papers with fine print, because I honestly believe in my heart of hearts that you signed something that may have, I don't know, it's probably overreached by the government, as if they own you or they can experiment on you. I'm not sure, but there's a specialty area. I believe veterans are like a special group as well. But Faretta sent out a FOIA request, and you can tell us what you sent out and what you received back, because the responses now are different. And this group that was formed, I believe, is new. So, Faretta, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Hello, everyone. I think the majority of us has already requested the FOIAs from the government. And as GoGi said, I am a veteran. I was told by the criminals that the military put me in this program. So what I did is I went on the Department of Veterans Affairs webpage and looked for FOIA request. So it said to call this number. So it was a generic number where we request our records and files and all of our other personal stuff. And he said, I called the number. He said to send an email to this address, write a letter requesting what I needed. I did that. And the response I got back, it was in 2 days. It came really quick. It says, let me go back to it. Okay, I just lost it. Hold on 1 second, please. So I sent it to Veterans, the Veterans Office, a Veterans Benefits Office, and it says for it's a VACO FAISE Veterans Government, which is the office where we get our government information from, our military information from. It said this office does not maintain the records you are requesting, but I'll attach this VA Form 20-10206. What I had written on the letter that the customer service, the person I spoke with, was that I needed to find out if I signed anything with the military, during the military, with my name on it. While I was enlisted, did I sign anything volunteering for experiment or any kind of programs? Any kind of medical programs.
Mm-hmm.
So, in return, he said that I needed to complete that form, VA Form 20-10206, which is actually the FOIA/Privacy Act request form. And I was to get a response within 20 days, and I got a response within that 20 days. And it said they acknowledged they received a copy of my request, and that they are going to look and include any service treatment records that I requested. When the VA requests for a file claim, when you request a claim from the VA, it gives you the Freedom of Information Act that they have to respond with something. And so it gave me a FOIA request number. Also said due to the volume of the request, it's going to be delayed. If I wanted to file a separate request, in other words, I can write them another letter to a different department, Department of Veterans Affairs Evidence Intake Center, and we put in another request with them. So they also said if I didn't hear from anything from the VA with any of this information that they must share within 90 days, I could file a what do you call it? A grievance? That's not the word I'm looking for. I can file a what's the word I'm trying to say? Appeal. I can file an appeal. They gave me the contact information where to send the appeal, which is the Chief FOIA PA Office, Veterans Benefit Affairs. And I could email that request to there also. And still, if I don't hear from the Chief of the FOIA PA Office with any information, whether it's yay or nay or they can't say, then I can ask for help with the Office of Government Information Services, National Archives Records Administration. And what they do is they will be a go-between between the Veterans Administration that should supply me with the information I requested and get that information for me. But when I went on the website, it looks like anybody that filed a FOIA request with any agency can use this Office of Government Information Services to intervene in order to get our records, because it says you have to have applied for it and not received any information.
Wow, that's good.
So, if I don't hear anything back from the VA, and I believe I'm going to do it with the DOJ also, is to request from the Office of Government Information Services, see if I can get more information, because like you said, I do believe somewhere around the line I did sign something with the Veterans Administration. I also worked 13 years for DOD and DOJ. So I possibly signed something along the way, and I should be able to. They should be able to give me that information.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Faretta. That is so informative, and please please keep us posted as to what it is, because if you sign something, it's going to be a standard document most likely, and other veterans have signed it. So any veterans that would like to reach out and stay in touch, please just email me at the Justice Action Meeting at proton.me, and we'll create a little vets group, and we'll veterinary veterans group, veterans group, and we'll keep that going. But that's very important, and I like the office that you mentioned, because, like, for example, nobody responded. DOJ and Department of Homeland Security did not respond to my FOIAs. I believe I received the standard letter from FBI, so I could certainly go to that office that you mentioned and file that, and then go on for the appeal. And this helps. This is in preparation for your day in court. So you're going through the motion. Again, we're not expecting anything positive, anything affirmative. We're not expecting them to tell on themselves, okay? But we're doing it. So thank you for sharing that. We'll keep posted. Please keep us posted.
I will do.
Okay?
Thank
you. Did you want to add? All right. Thank you. All right. So the other thing that we asked, of course, was to go to ACLU and vote no for Section 702 being reauthorized, and also to start your affidavits. So your affidavits, where you work on, like you detail out your experience, just take your time and really do it, and refer to your journal with some examples of journal entries and examples of what has happened to you in every area of your experience, and just create a nice affidavit and get it notarized at your bank or wherever you can, so that you'll always have that. And other people that see what you go through, have they experienced what you go through? Maybe they're in the store with you, or they see the planes overhead. If they're willing to get an affidavit, give you an affidavit. Let them write the affidavit, get it notarized, and keep that in your dossier. Also, if they're not willing, just write their name down for the time when you may have to subpoena them, or when we're free and hopefully the fear factor is gone, that they'll be willing to give you the affidavit. All right, so please keep working on your affidavits. And now I want to just talk briefly about the initiatives. We're going to open up for Q&A, and we're done. And hopefully we're going to be on time like we used to be, or just a little bit after the half-past hour. So the J.A.M team actions, we're working on a few things. The boots on the ground with TIA, our TI Army, TIA. So we're doing the business letter initiative, the business establishment letter, where we first fax it to headquarters, and the headquarters, the corporate offices of the businesses. And we're so grateful again to Attorney Anna for reviewing it and helping us with the statutes that hold businesses totally liable for colluding with the government criminals. Okay? So if they collude with them against us while they're, providing customer service or service to us, and especially if they're publicly traded, then number one, they have to tell their shareholders upon receiving this letter that they could possibly be in a lawsuit, and number two, that we can wage a lawsuit against them for mistreating us. So it's very important that we get these letters to the headquarters. I need more people. I need more faxing people. There are 1 or 2 people that have problems faxing. We need at least 2 or 3 people that can fax the letter out. We have the list. We have the fax numbers, and then we want to fax them out. So now I forgot her title but I will get it, Major Captain, but Pat is going to be working with the people that are faxing, and then we need more boots on the ground. We have quite a few. I think we have like 40. So for those people this is your first time on the call, welcome again. Welcome to the J.A.M. I hope you're going to join in on the action, and that is the key of this all. And so if you can, what we're going to do is give our business letter to people, the establishments that mistreat us, to the Walmarts, to hotels, places to eat, car repair places. We want them to know, because this is our pushback. Have you ever been in a place where you're getting your car repaired and all of a sudden somebody comes in and they're whispering to the person that's working on your car? Or they're whispering to the manager, and they're all talking, and then all of a sudden you don't know what they're doing to your car, but they're not doing what they're supposed to do. They're doing something additional, keeping you there all day for hours and hacking up the price, and also doing something to the car. So we want those establishments to know about this, and this is our pushback, because they go in and tell their little story about us, and we say nothing. And it's time to say something. And if we don't say it, give them the letter. Just give them the letter. We will have faxed the corporate headquarters. If it's a private company, you will have to just give it to the manager. But if it's a franchise or a publicly traded corporation, we're faxing those letters so that everybody gets one. And if you know of one that we may not know of, please send it in. But we're going to get the general. And the next time I'll have the Major, the Captain, Pat, to share the ones that we fax it to, so you'll know who we fax it to. And then boots on the ground, we're asking you to hold up until we fax some more of these letters, and then you can start giving them out. If you would like to be boots on the ground giving out the letters, please email me, the Justice Action Meeting at proton.me, because we want to have that kind of impact on the program. Okay, the second one is the Senate letter. So we talked about 3 senators that are TI friendly. That is Senator Ron Johnson, who we believe, he admitted that he has Havana syndrome, which means he's targeted. And he is in Wisconsin. So we have a group of 3 great leaders in Wisconsin with, I think it's Kim, Karen, and Derek. So and Kim and Karen, K and K, they're going to go they're working on meeting up with Ron Johnson, and we have the letter prepared for them. So, okay, I'm going to have Tranquility read the letter. The same letter, this Senate letter, we're also going to have it available for everyone to send as a draft to your senators. And then the next one will be a letter to Congress in reference to same or similar matters. So we'll change it up a little bit, but we'll have the draft ready for you when you're ready to reach out to your senator. But we're going to do Ron Johnson in Wisconsin, Marco Rubio in Florida, and Jean Shaheen in New Hampshire. So, and what we're going to have is constituents from those areas sign, and we're going to have 3 or 4 from each of those areas sign the letter so that we can send it to them, and they'll know who their constituents are, and hopefully the constituents will get their 3 minutes so that they can talk to them about what's going on. All right. The letter, please, Ms. Tranquility.
Subject: Urgent appeal to remove non-investigative subjects from the TSDB. Dear Senator, I'm writing to you as a concerned citizen of Orlando, Florida, regarding a pressing issue. Targeted individuals who the FBI acknowledges as law-abiding citizens and do not represent a threat to national security are illegally placed on 2 secret categories of the terrorist screening database, TSDB, that have nothing to do with the actual known and suspected terrorists that the Homeland Security Presidential Directive 6 purported to list. The data, discovered through the course of a legal case, reveals a dangerous reality. Over 300,000 U.S. citizens and 6 million globally are illegally labeled as suspected terrorists under these 2 secret categories, even though the FBI admits they do not meet the reasonable suspicion terrorist criteria. Along with the TSDB widespread distribution throughout the nation, innocent Americans such as myself face relentless stalking, harassment, hacking, and exposure to harmful technologies. This situation is eerily similar to the illegal government tactics implemented under COINTELPRO and MKUltra. The National Academies of Sciences and Engineering have concluded that exposure to directed energy weapons attacks over a period of 6 months is enough to produce Havana syndrome in any victim. It's particularly troubling to note that even a respected public servant like Senator Ron Johnson, who represents the state of Wisconsin, is reportedly experiencing Havana syndrome symptoms similar to those reported by targeted individuals. This underscores the urgency of addressing this issue promptly. We'd like to also draw your attention to Texas House Bill 2715. This important legislation passed on September 1st, 2023 in Texas prohibits following, tracking, or monitoring an individual and his or her personal property or motor vehicle. It serves as a model for legislation that could be implemented at the federal level to protect the privacy and security of all citizens. Given the outrageous documented FBI, DHS, Fusion Center abuses of power, the time has come for Congress to enact legislation protecting citizens from this kind of federal overreach. We kindly request a few minutes of your time to sit down with our leaders, gain a deeper understanding of the challenges faced by targeted individuals within your district, and to discuss potential solutions to a national problem of monumental proportions. We urge you to consider passing federal legislation similar to Texas House Bill 2715, investigating the FBI's abusive practice and motivations of placing innocent Americans on a terrorist database, providing housing, medical, financial relief, and ongoing support to targeted individuals displaced by the heinous program that strips them of their basic human rights, implementing a rigorous process for adding, removing individuals to and from government watch lists like the TSDB list to prevent further injustices, implementing strict measures to prevent harassment, including cyber attacks and drone surveillance. Additionally, we wish to bring your attention to the ongoing appeal, Targeted Justice versus Garland, pending before the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, which underscores the gravity of the situation as it highlights the illegality of listing people on the terrorist database without evidence or due process. We also request that you look into the possibility of defunding the outrageously illegal targeted individual program run by the CIA. We are counting on your leadership and advocacy for justice and support of these inquiries and initiatives. Thank you for your dedication to the people of Florida. Sincerely, Mrs. Apple. GoGi's, this letter speaks volumes, and I truly appreciate the opportunity to read it tonight. Thank you.
So eloquently done, as usual. Thank you so much, Tranquility Adelaide. All right, guys. So wait 1 second, please. 1 second. We're going to please we're going to send the letter out. That is the Florida example. and we're going to have it for Florida, Wisconsin, and New Hampshire. So those are our TI-friendly senators. And we may also do, I believe Ted Cruz's name came up, but we're going to send it to TI-friendly elected officials. We're going to have a post for the ones, anybody who wants to add your name to it. We'll leave it blank so that you can add your name and your city or state. Okay, so we'll have it available for everybody. Yes, we're going to post that on TI events under urgent action needed and also the post J.A.M notes. I'll find out if Targeted Justice will have a copy as well, and you'll be able to have your form so that you can send to your senator. All right, so let's get those letters out. Please, please, please do not be wary, do not be frightened, and do not be slothful. Okay, so please get the letters out to the senators so that we can have the impact we need, and everyone that will have no excuse to say that they don't know about this TI program. All right. Okay, so that's the Senate letter, and thank you again, Tranquility. Okay, the cell tower movement. So we had Richard Lighthouse premiere appearance last week talking about the cell tower initiative and exactly how it has to be done. The main takeaway is that there are 4 panels and there only needs to be 3. When you see a cell tower that has 4 panels on one level, one tier, and there's 4 panels, whether it's small, big, little, medium, whatever sizes, but it's on one level pointing in one direction, that is a weaponized cell tower, and it can be used to attack you in any TI. So we want to make sure that we do the steps. So it may take more than one visit. When you get there, just relax, take a picture, do this, do that, do all the necessary steps. And we created a checklist. We're going to have the checklist available shortly. I'm going to put it out. We'll put it in the same place. Urgent action needed on tievents.org. Post J.A.M notes, tievents.org, and on Targeted Justice, you'll have it available under the cell tower movement tab. Okay, so there will be a checklist, and if you follow it carefully and get your information in, pictures, videos, also not only the 4 panels, we're also looking at the strength of the generator and the thickness of the cables. So those are really key. So the following the steps are important. And there may be a surprise for those of you who do a really, really good job with it. So really focus on it. And, because our objective, including, you sending a letter to the cell tower owner, CCing tjustice2@proton.me, not CCing me, CCing tjustice2@proton.me, then, that will help this movement. So also, our Betty Doo, I don't know if she's on today, but she's available. So what we're going to do, we're going to have 2 more. We have the people's names who wanted to be in workshops with her to learn how to do that antenna search, that FCC search, and for the ones in their area. So those workshops are going to be demonstrative so that we're going to post them. They're going to be live videos taken on free conference call, and they'll be posted so that you could view them and know exactly how to do the footwork online. And once you're doing that, will complement what you do when you go on foot to the cell tower. So it might even shorten and reduce the time that you need to spend there. All right, so that's really important, and we're really happy to have Betty Doo work with us on that. There'll be 2 videos coming up shortly, and I already have the names of the people who want to be a part of the groups. Lauren, I didn't forget you. And I don't want to start naming names, but I have them on the tip of my tongue, so I know who you are. You'll be a part of the group. And then and that will be like an instructional video for everyone else, the 2 videos. We did one already, so that's available. And then these other two parts will be with people who are going to be walking through the motions while, on camera, so that we can share it with everybody else. All right. Okay, and the other 2 initiatives.
Who do we see them?
tjustice2 at proton.me. tjustice2 at proton.me. Something about to happen. I ain't gonna tell you what it is. So, anyway, the pets. I haven't received a lot, and I think it's because I'm asking for an affidavit. I don't know if that scares everybody, but please just send information about your pets, photos, videos, things that are happening to them. Send it to my email, the Justice Action Meeting at proton.me, or send it to tjustice2 at proton.me, and in both put pet in the subject area, please. With everything, if you put what you're sending in the subject area, that will help us a whole lot. And the last part is our church outreach. So what we're planning is monthly forums, and we're going to have a little program, a monthly program to pastors and ministers, especially of the larger churches, but all size churches, inviting them to hear about the TI program. And the reason that is so important is because if someone goes to their leaders in the church or goes to their ministerial staff and says, I'm hearing voices in my head, we want them to do something other than to send them to the psychiatric ward. Okay? We want them to know that this exists, because if they don't know, then that's what they'll think, and that's where they'll send them, and it's just a natural thing. So we want to talk about the elements of the program and the bottom line of the program. So we're going to start those meetings. If we start with a small group and end up with a large group, we're just going to start them. The thing about it is I believe that, in the course of time, that we will be free before we have more than one meeting, but we're going to at least start with that. So hopefully we'll have a Christmas or pre-Christmas meeting. We're calling it the final chapter, and the final chapter, I think it is coffee and chat and coffee, or the coffee. I can't remember. We're coming up with a name for it, and we're going to bring those ministers out so that they can hear what's going on with us. Whew, guys, that is the whole agenda. Oh my goodness! Finally, I don't know if I missed anything. I'll come back at the end. I think we're gonna add, if you have any questions or comments, please get in queue. Just I think you have to *6, and Tranquility will be able to choose you so that you can make your comment or ask your question. And we're in time to get off on time. Let me see. Oh, no. We're 10 minutes late. So we're going to take we'll do 5 minutes worth of questions, and we'll close out. And I thank you guys for making this another tremendous night. Thank you so much. Okay, next caller. Are there any questions? How many questions in queue, please?
You've got about 7 in queue.
Okay, so let's go. First caller, please. Hi, how are you? Did someone have a question?
Yes, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you. Yes.
Yeah, this is Saqib from Atlanta. I got one question and one comment. Question is, I noticed we have a lot of action items in these calls, like we should do this, follow up on this. So the follow-up action item on a call. I'm not sure if it's feasible that maybe after the call there should be like minute of the meetings emailed out, or at least as a newsletter, so people know, okay, these are the action items that we need to. Because some people may be driving, they are not taking notes, they may not remember the phone number or exactly what needs to be action plan is. So we get a better action from TIs if we can get a minute of the meeting with the bullet points. This was discussed. This is the action item for the TIs to do. FOIA report. There's like anything that's coming up, and you're saying, hey, you have to do this, and you have to do this, and then somebody says, okay, this is the number, I did this, a little bit different FOIA request. If that comes up as a bullet items, so everybody can refer that, and if anybody missed it or didn't understand, there's some place to go to get the correct information and take the correct steps. That's one item.
Absolutely. Yes. Go ahead. What's your second?
Second thing I was going to mention, which is a little bit different, and it could be a takeaway for the next call, that they're on a 2 weeks old, a few days old newsletter from PACT International about it's on YouTube. You can write it down and maybe play this. It's very good, I think. It is illegal targeting program explained by Linda Bess, B-E-S-S. And in this whole thing she talks about, and the entire reference is to Ted Gunderson, that FBI officer who was targeted. So, and it talks about microwave weapons. It talks about cell phone antennas, and he said that way back then, that this program they're all connected, they're doing this with cell phone antennas, and he said that when nobody even knew what he was talking about. So this is a very good reference point to go maybe to, it's a very only few minutes, maybe 10, 15 minutes, but something you can play on next call so everybody can actually hear that. Would you want me to repeat that once again? Repeat that once again?
No, I got it. Okay. I wrote it down. So listen, we have on tievents.org, the post-J.A.M. meeting notes, just what you're referring to. So there are some bullets and actions, homework. It's called your J.A.M. homework. So the homework is there with what you need to do, and everything we mentioned will be there. Okay?
Perfect. Thank you very much. So
all right.
When do they go out? They go out overnight, like the next day or a few days later?
It depends. I've been tardy before, but hopefully it'll be out by tomorrow. Okay.
Excellent. Very good.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for your wisdom and your expertise in sharing with us. Thank you. Next caller, please. You gotta be patient, guys. If people don't know that they're up, that they're unmuted. You're unmuted. Hi. Okay. Is there another caller?
Hi, Jackie.
Hi. Hi.
So I just wanted to make a statement. As far as the person that was the former veteran was saying that she was not sure if she had may have signed up for research. I think because we're under so much duress, I'll speak for myself. I've had multiple unnecessary procedures done to my body. And when you're under duress, you don't know exactly somebody you go into an office and they tell you, and this is for an example, you have cancer. Well, that's all you hear. After that, you don't hear anything else, if you understand what I'm saying. So for somebody to just go in and say that they're going to sign up to have a research done on their body when they have gone and heard the doctor say you have this going on and you may have cancer, they're not going to hear any of that. They're going to hear just what the doctor said to them, and that is you have a incurable disease, okay, basically. So as far as this one is concerned, you're already under so much stress and your body is under so much duress. You're not going to just readily say, I'm going to sign up to have some research done to my body. That's not what the average person normally does. And that normally will come under it will normally come under you being under duress, is what I'm trying to say.
Right. And so, it could also be fine print.
The government has put us under that makes us puts us in a position where we cannot back out of it, if you understand what I'm saying. Once you sign the form saying, I agree to this, this, and this, you really don't understand what you're signing. Do you get what I'm saying?
I get it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, GoGi. Go ahead.
All right. I think I get what Lauren is saying. She's basically saying whether you signed it or not, it's under duress, so they can't hold you responsible for it. And I'm saying that it could have been in the fine print. It could have been like Foretta's checking to see if there's just somewhere where I think we need to know that for veterans, because for some reason they just seem like they have this authority over veterans. So the question is there something, you know how, all right, when you sign for a mortgage, they start shoving, I don't know, you must sign 100 papers in like an hour. They just keep shoving, this is for that, initial here, initial there, oh, this is what that is, and they just keep telling you. And I'm not sure about going into service, but I'm believing that there's a lot of paperwork and a lot of signatures, and the question is there somewhere in there in that fine print that gives you permission to do this? Not that it's legal anyway, but just that it's there. So, yeah, thank you. I get your question. So no matter what, Foretta, the question is that if you were under duress if you did sign it. So, if they show you something that you signed, it's not that you're saying, oh, wow, then that's why you were able to do this for me, and that makes it all okay. No, nothing makes it okay.
Right, exactly. Nothing makes it okay. I agree with Lawrence, with what Lawrence said. No, possibly signing a document that maybe had it in fine print and I didn't see it, or we didn't see it, or whatever, and they've taken advantage of that fact, and we're going through this, still not knowing. That I don't know about you, but I'm still getting documents or letters from the VA asking for people to volunteer for experiments. And those documents, I know for a fact I never signed at any point. So my thing is going back to where I was in the military. So I understand exactly what you're saying. If I signed something, it's because I didn't know I signed it. But I need to know. I need to know.
Right. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And I need to let them know it's wrong.
Right. And please keep us posted. Yes. Thank you. All right. Next call.
Can you hear me, guys, just for a second? They're not supposed to put anything, any kind of artifact or anything like that inside of your body without fully explaining to you that that's what they're going to do. So when they do that, they're going unethically. They're going beyond their power and control to do something like that to one person without them really knowing what it is that's going inside of their body. They can't do that to people. It's illegal.
Yeah, exactly.
Putting things in there to bring them harm, which we all understand is happening to us. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, next caller, please. That's 2 out of the 7.
Hi, GoGi. This is Cassandra. Thank you for
Hi, Cassandra.
Mm-hmm. Hi, GoGi. Thank you so much for this beautiful program. It's always wonderful and so informative. I just wanted to ask a question. I know you mentioned, you're welcome, dear. You mentioned about having many of the churches. The church I belong to is here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It has over 10,000 people, very large church. And I've gone through them. I don't have a V2K, but I've gone through several things about targeting. There's some people right in the church, some ministers, right? Well, some officials in the church are asking purpose. They're doing this. And how would you get in touch with them? I mean, everyone, different churches in different cities.
Okay. Yes, please send. You can send the information to me, the Justice Action Meeting at proton.me, and we will certainly invite your pastor and leaders of the church, and if you want us to tell them that it's going to be a standard letter that you may have targeted individuals in your church, and most likely most churches will have TIs in their church. So we'll send them the letter, and if you want a copy of it, we'll give you a letter to give your pastor directly.
Okay, thank you, because I've gone to them a couple of times. They don't believe it. They think, it's just horrible. It's really horrible. So
let me say that a lot of churches are told, probably told, not to get involved, and if they take any governmental funds for anything, then they probably cannot get involved as a conflict of interest. So, especially since the lawsuit. So, that could be why they don't respond to you that way, but they can certainly come to a forum and hear information about it.
Thank you. Oh, this is wonderful. And I heard you say that this really does my heart well. Thank you so much. So just email you the name and everything, the church?
Yes, please. Phone number or email address.
The other thing is, in regards to sending these letters out, do you, there's different places businesses we go to in regards to, different business, like Sam's Club, all these different grocery stores, things and things of that nature. So are you going to send unique names? What? Yes,
we're gonna start first by we will fax to the corporate office of all these Sam's Club, BJ's, Walmart, and so forth. A lot of them we have already faxed to, but we'll share that information hopefully next week. And then we have foot soldiers where you can then take the letter to the manager, and we'll review that process, how you're to do that properly, so that we can have impact. Okay.
Oh, thank you. Oh, well, God bless you. Thank you. You've done an excellent
job.
I'm so grateful. I found all about this. It's about 6 or 8 months ago, but thank you. God bless you. Love you all. Thank you.
Me too. All right. God bless you. Love you all too. All right. Thank you. Okay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think. Okay. Next caller, please. I'm trying to keep up in my head, but.
Okay, Sister Gaji, this is Betty from Alabama.
Hi, Sister Betty. Hi. How are you?
I'm doing well. My interest was similar to Sister Cassandra's about the churches. I am so anxious to get letters to the churches and get them involved, because a lot of church pastors and their wives are being targeted. And I know several there in Texas, and I have contacted one. And, in fact, one in Texas, and I've contacted several others. And because they're being targeted, but they need a clear understanding. And so these letters will give them a clear understanding as to what is going on. And so
my goodness.
And, I
absolutely
several myself last year. Several. And last year they were involved in the targeting. And so they have hired the churches, many people in the churches, even in leadership, pastors. The reason I'm saying this because I've confronted several and about their negative action and what they were doing and all. But anyway, how soon will it be? Because I want to get the letters to even to the churches in this area, and just every place I can think of. I want to get the churches involved and let them know what's going on. And as I stated, many of the church leaders are being targeted, and they really don't know what's going on.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. You know what? You said a mouthful. First of all, I always think about the congregation like us as TIs sitting there and looking for help in the church and them not understanding us. But you're right. Some of the pastors themselves were targeted because just like that letter was leaked about them infiltrating the Catholics and going into the mass and because they call them radical nationalists, that is, they have already done it in the other denominations. So they have already infiltrated this. And so you're right. Some of these pastors are targeted as well because they target a lot of Christians. So they,
Yeah.
of course, they would target the top. So I didn't even think about them sitting near themselves and finding out that they themselves are targeted. So absolutely, we might have to do it sooner than later. What we'll try to do instead of waiting until December is try to do it November and December. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm excited. I get this because I don't want to be pushy, but I have confronted several pastors. I mean, these are just no ordinary pastors. These are people in worldwide, and they are being targeted, especially pastors that are teaching deliverance to the people and teaching them how to, love Jesus and how to get to heaven. They are targeted. I mean, they have sent their little criminals into these churches, but one thing about it, in one particular place I know personally, the camera people are on them. They have those cameras right on them when they get those phones out targeting the pastor. But I believe it. They still need to. I still want to get those letters from you all, and I'll give you. I'm gonna give you some the telephone numbers and addresses too, and as I say, they come right there in Texas. And let me say this, and they are targeting the pastor wives, and the pastor wives are getting sick now. And,
oh my God, you're so. I mean, that happened in my church, in the mega church. So I believe that. Wow, unbelievable.
Oh yeah, they are sick. And I was yesterday, another pastor, he's having to take his wife to the emergency care, get emergency care, and I let him know what's going on, and he believes it. And I said, watch those people across the street from you all, and pray against these witchcraft spirits too. And so, okay, let me get off and let someone else. But
thank you so much, though. Thank you. That was eye-opening. Thank you so much, and we have to get on it. You're right. So we may be saving lives. We have to get on it a little fast. We got to move a little faster with those churches. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Next question, please. Okay, somebody has a video on, and I'm waiting for the next question. We had 7, and that was about 4. I think we want to have 3 more, and we want to release everybody. I think it's 4.
Hi, GoGi.
Next caller. Hi.
Hi. My name is Daleen, and I'm in Chicago.
Hi.
My targeting seemed to start with a woman who lives in my building. She's a lawyer but can't hold a job at a law office. I rejected a relationship with her and went no contact, and she's been hunting me like prey for over 4 years now. She began stalking me, so I went to court to request a restraining order against her. She then turned the stalking over to 4 of our neighbors who live in the building. She turned everyone against me, of course, family, friends, neighbors, everyone, blacklisted me with attorneys. So recently she sent 2 of the men that had been stalking me into the laundry room when I'm downstairs doing my laundry very early in the morning before other people come down. And it's pretty obvious. So I asked the property manager if I could have the security tapes from the laundry room. And he said if a police officer will request it for me. But the police are not going to do it because they're in on it. In fact, one of them stalking me is a police officer. So I can't afford a lawyer, and I'm blacklisted anyway. Do you have any suggestions how I might get these 2 security videos?
The security videos. I would hope that, I don't know how long they keep them.
They keep them. They should still have them. He told me he's seen them up to 70 days, and they should still have both of them.
Only 70 days. Excuse me. I'm only 70 days. because it'll be hard to get them. It'll be hard to get them before we prevail. Like when you start your case, it's like you won't be starting your case. It's about documentation. So you would document. The fact that they were there, the fact that they were there and those videos, it would be great to show that they were there, but they can say I'm there because I'm just in the laundry room. I was just in the laundry doing my laundry early because of whatever reason. So I don't know how much it will prove. And
well, the one man came in and looked at me like a monster, and I'm sure they got that. That would be really good. The other thing is, I don't know if it would be hacked from my computer like so many other screenshots and things I have on. Would it be worth it to pursue? Do you think they just let it go and just document it?
I would let it go. Document it on paper and let it go. I mean, since because the police are not they're gonna give you a hard time. I'm sorry, but and also invest maybe in a little non-digital camera yourself and video yourself that you can record sometimes and just have this information and save it to external sources so that you'll have it with you and have it for you, Do
you know who makes the non-digital video cameras by any chance?
I saw one that was Polaroid. It was expensive. I was surprised it was like $100, but it was a Polaroid.
Very good. All right. Thank you, Gogi. Thank you for being here. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Bless you as well. All right. Next caller, please.
Gogi, hi. It's G.
Hi, G.
G and Virginia. Hi. Listen, my problem is, or maybe you could help me. Hopefully, I've been moving every year for the past 7 years. These stalkers are going ahead of me, and they're going into the resident manager, who seems to be consenting to them because it is an organization. So the resident manager partakes in the organization, becomes a part of it, and allows them access to whatever apartment I am going to be moving into. By the time I get there, the apartment is already rigged, set up with cameras, and, surveillance is there. So usually when I ask for one apartment, I always get another one because maybe the one I wanted didn't have real access to where they could get all the visual activity going on that they needed, the stalkers needed. So what happens to me usually when I get there, practically on the day that I get there, they've already given me another apartment that's already been set up. So the time I get in there, this is it. I feel the same thing for 7 years in each apartment that I get. Right now, I'm in the process of moving to another complex. What do you suggest I do rather than just walking in there and eventually telling the resident manager what's going on in my apartment? I know cameras in there is what I tell the resident manager. They all say, well, they've already been told that I have mental problems. So by the time I get there, they have already got me pictured, into a category that the stalkers have put them in. So I have no say so because I've already been put there. What do I do?
So
say like I'm. Say,
go ahead. As soon as you
like
start complaining about something, go ahead. I got it.
Say like I'm going to the next complex when I move from here. They're going to go ahead of me and going to go to the resident manager. Now I may still be able to rent an apartment, but at the same time, they already been told that I was a mental problem. And, some of them even joined the organization. And I really think there's money being involved in giving to these resident managers under the table. They're getting some sort of special privileges from this organization because they become a part of it. So once they become a part of it, the stalkers can get the right of way. They can do anything in my apartment that they want to do. My complaining about it while I'm there, it goes in one ear of the resident manager and out the other because I have a mental problem. So is there anything, would you suggest that if I choose an apartment, go to the resident manager, tell them about what's going on, or do I just go ahead and continue on the road that I'm on, or is there some sort of, what do you suggest I do to warn them that I'm going to be put into that category?
Right. I get it. It's a really precarious situation. So, like, you don't want to just walk in and say, hi, I'm a TI, and I'm on a terrorist screening database, and this is what they do to me and all that. You don't want to, the question is, do you want to do that, or do you want to sit back and let it happen? Because it will happen. The rest, if you're just moving and minding your business, then eventually you'll just see things start setting up.
Yeah, that's the way it is. That's what's been happening. That's exactly what's been happening.
It's like being between a rock and a hard place. So can you send me an email? I want to talk with you. Can you send, I don't know if you have my number. Do you know, you have Tanya's number, right?
Yeah.
And Pat, they have mine. So get mine and call me tonight.
Okay, I will. Thank you, Goldie.
All right, thank you. All right, next caller, please. And just for anybody else in that situation, it is really a very sensitive and touchy situation, and it's really hard to determine which is the best way to go. All right. Next caller. Hi.
Hi, GoGi. This is Jolyn from Los Angeles.
Hi, Jolyn.
Hello, and hello to everybody out there. I have a quick question. You may not have the answer, but I'm just wondering if anybody does, or if you could look into it. In the future, somebody could help me. Somebody gave me and I should not have got it, but I did, a foam mattress. And I said, okay, I'll put it on my mattress. And the moment I put the foam mattress and I sat on or slept on it, within half an hour, I started feeling electricity going over my body. It started my legs first, and it went all over my body. Within 2 hours, my entire body was shaking, as if I had been, electricity was going all over my body. And then after about 3 hours, I just said, something's wrong with this. And I removed the mattress from my bed, the foam mattress, and I put it down, and I went back to my bed, and about an hour or so, all was calm. All the symptoms were gone.
Good.
On that mattress. Now I'm wondering, what kind of test can we do? I don't expect you to know the answer right now, but maybe somebody can know or research and let me know. What kind of tests can we do on this mattress? I'm keeping it.
Good. Please keep it.
As an evidence. And I'm hoping that it would show something. As a matter of fact, the person wants $100 for it, and I am going to keep it. But I want to know what kind of tests can we run in it to figure out what is this, in this foam mattress.
Okay, I'm going to ask the engineer. So that's very interesting to me. There must have been some electricity through it, some wires and so forth that communicate with your body. So to me, I don't know if you have implants, but I would think it would be something that can. Oh, you do? Okay. Yeah, that would activate them. Once something, they must have some kind of device that, I'm thinking of a transmitter and a receiver. So that mattress must receive messages from them remotely, and that talks to the implants in your body and would start you to shaking like that. So, I'm glad you took it off.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you're saving it.
Right. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah. I'm just glad.
I'm looking for something tangible that I could find in the mattress as as evidence. It must be something in the mattress that caused it. Anyways, if anybody could figure out, I would appreciate if anybody would let me know.
Okay, that would be great. Hold it until we get the right person to do it, and then they can, cut it up and stuff. All right. Thank you. All right. Next question. Where are we, Miss T?
This is your last question.
Woo! Thank you. All right. Last question. Last caller. Go ahead.
Hi,
Hi.
I got the last question.
Yes, you did.
This is Dory in Florida.
Hi, Dory from Florida.
Hi. I think we all know after 2020 election, there was an attempt by Democrats to pack the court. And recently, there was another attempt. I got an email from ACLJ, and then I got the mail. The mail, it asked to send the letter to politicians, to state politicians, to oppose packing the court. So, I wouldn't be surprised. This second attempt is because of our powerful lawsuit. Yeah.
Where is that information? Is it an article, or can you get that to me?
Well, I don't have that letter anymore. This is information from ACLJ.
Okay. I'll find it.
I will email you. ACLJ.
Okay.
They send it. I may not have that email, but when I think about it, and when Israel got attacked, the thought that came to my mind. So why U.S. intelligence? They had the information, they didn't prevent it. And then Chris Ray came out to warn terrorist attack. That's like a wolf crying wolf again. So you cannot fool me anymore. They have been committing crime to me for 10 years. So they trained me to think, not to have a simple mind anymore.
Right.
Yes, right. So they trained me well. So I will try to get information to email you. So that's
thank you.
That's.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, GoGi.
And you're absolutely right. I mean, it's the gaslighting. It's the they're sitting here doing things to us, calling us terrorists, and now trying to justify keeping FISA Section 702 or keeping this program going, keeping the funds going into domestic terrorists, using anything that happens to do it. But this program is coming down, is being exposed, and we're going to be free. And that's it. So,
it's just the timing, GoGi. The timing is very, very suspicious.
Absolutely. But it's our time. This is our time, so it's time for us to be free. Guys, we made it through the last question. We made it through the full agenda. You war heroes are wonderful, and I hope one day to be able to give you a Purple Heart, because I tell you, the valor here, the courage, the bravery, the honor, you guys are wonderful. You are withstanding war, weaponry, and military tactics. And you guys are great. So thank you so much. And I thank you. Please make sure you cooperate and participate in all of the initiatives. We're doing all we can to get everything cranked out as soon as possible. And you are an inspiration. You are special, and we're looking forward to next week. Please get a copy of my book. Give it to somebody. GoGi's 10 signs which indicate you are a targeted individual. And follow me on TikTok. And check out the YouTube channel. Check out tievents.org. Always check out targetedjustice.com. And make sure you sign up for the lawsuit, sign up for the rally. And just join it. Keep the momentum going. Let's stay together. Stay united. Let's support one another, and let's move this thing forward. Let's move on to freedom. Let's throw everything up against that wall, see what sticks. We're supporting and praying for Attorney Anna Toledo. The defendants have until November 6th to respond, and then she's going to flip that response around. She has 15 days, but she's going to do it quicker, and we're going to get that response in, and hopefully we'll have a date before Thanksgiving. Not that we'll be there before Thanksgiving, but at least before Thanksgiving we'll know when our date is. We're requesting an oral hearing to the full court. Wouldn't that be great? So those of you who pray, believe, and get up believing that God has already done it. So I'm thanking him because I've done that already. So I'm expecting to see that, and I'm looking forward to see your faces in Louisiana, in NOLA, okay? So let's open up. You have any things you want to just breathe, you want to say anything, this would be the time to do it. Thank you, guys. We made it through another jam.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for staying here. Hey.
Thank you so much.
Hey, guys. Love you guys. Thank you all. Thank you for being here.
Praying so hard,
Keep praying. Keep believing.
I just know that God is going to do something for us, and I'm just full of the energy that you give me. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you. That's my Betty, too. Thank you, Betty. All right. Love you. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Love you back. Thank you, guys. You guys are so wonderful. Thank you for being here. Let's keep making it through. Preserve yourself. Thank you. Preserve you. Preserve you. Take care of you. All right now.
That's a fact.
Woohoo.
All right.
You guys. All right.
Good night.
Night, night. Sweet dreams, everybody.
Good night.